Yeah, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Goff now to throw. Setting up the screen to Kelly. Fights through, and now a crease. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A give. This is Kelly. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And now running right through him. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is indeed good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He could throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And right away, he lost the football. And the Rams have got it back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Kelly, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And his kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 119 yards, and the score.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll drop the throw. He finds Coleman. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On the defensive side of the ball, the starters for Los Angeles. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan, almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up first downs.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed
All right,
up.
here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Corey Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners, if they can convert the extra point, they'll grab the lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould with the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Scoring summary. 3